Vanakkam and Namaste Sitaram, and welcome to another installation and next edition of that mini-series balidhaan. And in this video, we are going into the Mahabharata, and we are going to the 14th volume of the 18 volumes of the Mahabharata, and we are going into the Ashmaved, right, the Ashmaveda Hitika Parva. And in that Ashmaveda Parva, this is where we see where not we see we are going to see where the Ashmavira or horse sacrifice is mentioned and other things in particular, and one or two other things that were mentioned in other books also. One in particular, right, the Rajasura Yajna. So we enter in our this little this is aspect of the Ashmaveda Hitika Parva where the battle, the Mahabharata, the battle has been fought and the Pandavas have won. But there it is, Yudhishthira, the elder brother of the Pandavas, is grief stricken because of the war, the bloodshed, the killings, and all the lives lost, and so forth, and how much it took to go to war, how much money and how much things was spent, and wherever, all right, and how much bloodlines and how many families were killed and whatever, and he is just grief stricken with it. And there it is, he's on the banks of the Ganga wailing, he's crying, he's lying on the ground, and his sibling, his brothers are around him. Krishna is there, Vyas is there, and so forth, his gurus and whatever, and they are advising him. And there it is, he's being advised to perform, there it is, say, get up and go do his duty. His uncle is telling him, those from the losing side is telling him, now you must perform your duty as king because you have to fulfill your duties as king. And there it is, we see they mention to make offering to the ancestors. We see they mention to do to Wallace to offer drink, to offer meat to to his comrades who fought with him and celebrating their victory. He is told to do the Soma, right, the Soma Yajna, and offer that fermented juice, that fermented drink to the devatas and so forth. There it is, we see that because why it needs to be done, because of something of this epic more or less war that has transpired and more or less victory has overcome, good over evil has overcome, has to be done. But also we see, right, in that discourse, in that part of that 14th edition book, we see that other things are told. There it is, he's been told, right, to perform the Rajasura, right, yajna along with the horse sacrifice, as well as a Sarva Meda and a Nara Meda, right? He's still, he is even told, just as Dashasant Ram or the Mantas and Sunkantala's son, which is thy ancestor, the Lord of the earth, exceedingly pursuing King Bharat, had done, do thou the ordinance celebrate the horse sacrifice with Dutchness, meaning do it as merriment as much as you could do it, giving Dutchness, meaning pain, giving gifts and presents, not just to the priests and them and so forth, but to the helpers, those who come to help and to prepare. Give it with as much merriment, meaning as much as I get, as much as I can give, so I can be returned unto me. I give in good fortune, and I hope to receive in good fortune also. So there it is. In this video, we see, and we are into the Mahabharata, and we are into the Ashmahirika Parva, which is the 14th installation of the Mahabharata, right? We see where Yudhishthira is being advised to perform the Ashmaveda sacrifice. But not that alone. The Radhasura Yajna, he's being asked to do the Sarva Meda, the Nara Meda, and to do it with a lot of merriment and gifts, a lot of dakshina, gifts, money, as much he could muster, because what? As much as I could give in goodness and in health and in strength, so I seek in return. And this was essential because of the epic war, that epic Mahabharata war between two families had more or less replenished everything from riches to lives, family ties, lineage, you name it. It had left the earth dry. It had left the kingdom dry, barren, almost as a desert. And there it is, so much blood, so much killing, murders, this and that. Yudhishthira was grieved with sadness, whatever. But yet he was being urged and pushed to perform his right now as the rightful king because he and his army that he had won the war. So this is where I said now we go back and say it again. In the Mahabharata now we are seeing a lot of people, and even I had made a mistake. I'm going to say it here that we had, how should I say, stupidly or uneducationally had mentioned, always mentioned this aspect where I referenced the Gita, and the Gita is wrong. The Gita doesn't have nothing about the Ashma Veda thing. It is actually Mahabharata. It's only when I started to dig more, when I started to do my due diligence correctly, and listen to what I say, when I started to do my due diligence correctly, as a devotee of Ma, and for the sake of not my just of my own more or less growth into spirituality as in knowledge wise, but to be able to share what I and I do it properly where I had the scriptures, I had the references, and I could go with it. There it is I came about to know exactly where and when. So I can reference it to other people and put it out there. Not just say by word of mouth, but I could put it there in a video and say it is from the Ashma Vedika Parva, the 14th installation of the Mahabharata story, and you will see where at the beginning of it, it starts one time coming down. It doesn't go into even the fifth page, and it's already there explaining all the different things, what should be done, how it should be done, what needs to be done because of this epic war. So in this video, we see now where the Mahabharata gives references, it gives acknowledgement to the horse sacrifice as the Ashma Veda. It gives to other different yajnas, the Sarva Mera and the Narameda and so forth. So it has all those different things. It has that also. So we see more references, more acknowledgement to this never ending topic of balidhaan being done. So there it is. We have more reference, more, you know, scripture that not only supports it, but not really supports it. My bad, not really support, but gives reference that it does exist. It does exist. Yes, people have made changes to different aspects of the worship of different aspects that omits it. Fine, that is perfect, perfectly perfect. There are those who have still who are still upholding the Vedic laws, the old laws, and the old traditional ways, and still performing the worship as it was written back in the old days, and that is perfect also. But for those who are countless, needlessly, always bashing or criticizing it, this is where these scriptures comes into play. It doesn't come into crucifying you because of something you may have not understood, or you didn't go that far, or you maybe just don't like the aspect of the worship. Fine. But these scriptures are to show that it does exist. It is still there. Some people do follow these old tradition. Not this one, but the Ashma Veda is not necessarily followed by us in the Caribbean here because we have no kings, and well, I don't think they do follow it more longer in India. So, right? But it is something that is there. So I hope this video was informative and gave you more information about balidhaan. Please join me for the other video where we are going into the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. All right? Join me for this one. We are going next video coming up. We're going into the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Jai Sitaram, everyone.